Welcome back to Thursday Thought, and welcome to my kitchen for a new format and a new thought. Milk. Yeah. I must admit that my first impression is that there's not really a lot of thinking you can do about milk. I know you at Westland are all very excited about milk at the moment. You've got your new supplier, and we're going to be hearing a lot more about that in the coming weeks. But for normal people, milk is frankly pretty dull. So what is there to say about it? Well, it was as I was pondering that very question that I suddenly remembered, and perhaps this is because I'm a vicar, that the Promised Land was flowing with milk and honey. Why that? Honey I get, obviously. I mean, any person of taste understands about honey. But why milk? Why not gold or diamonds or, my personal favourite, vintage sports cars? But milk, it's such an ordinary, everyday thing. I mean, I could buy a pint of this stuff at my local supermarket for 45p. I challenge you to find anything you can buy these days for 45p. Milk is one of the cheapest, least impressive and least valuable things in the world. And frankly, if that's what the Promised Land is all about, I think it's going to be a bit of a letdown, isn't it? And it's so basic. It's for babies and bones, and it has vitamin D in it, and I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel. I mean, I suppose it's important in its own dull little way. I mean, none of us would be here if it wasn't for milk, and years after I stopped being a baby, I guess I'd be pretty lost without it every day in my coffee and in my porridge and a little glass before bedtime. It's sort of comforting, I suppose. And maybe that's the point. Maybe the reason why the Promised Land is flowing with this stuff is that it matters in a simple, everyday way. It may be unexciting, but life would be all but impossible without it. Maybe milk's greatest virtue is that it challenges me to think again about what really matters in life. We place greater value on things that are rare or shiny, like gold or diamonds. But isn't the simple, ordinary everydayness of life far more valuable? You know, every morning I walk 3 miles to the local well to draw water, make a fire, boil it up and wash myself in it. No, I don't. Most of humanity does. But I walk into my ensuite bathroom and turn the hot tap on. How luxurious is that? And most days I'm so grumpy about waking up that I don't even notice. And are the truly valuable things in life even more basic and ordinary than that? My family, my home, my job, my friends, my daily bread, the fresh Cumbrian air we breathe, the dew on the morning grass, the sunlight, and the sheer joy of being alive. Every day I draw breath is infinitely precious. Nothing could even compare with the value of the gift of life itself. So perhaps the Promised Land flows with milk to remind us what's really valuable in life. After all, this milk doesn't cost 45p. It costs the cow its whole life. And it costs the farmer a fortune in money and worry and blood, sweat and tears. And it's bursting with goodness. You know, it's even been scientifically proven to help you sleep. It's an everyday, pint-sized miracle. And that's why in my kitchen, it doesn't come from the supermarket, and why actually I'm rather proud of Westland for giving your dairy farmer a fair price and a guaranteed supply chain. But I wonder what milk symbolises in your life. The dull, everyday things you need to remind yourself to value more than anything else in the world. I think for my part, it's going to remind me every time I pour out some of this white gold, just how wonderful it is to be loved, to have shelter, to have honest work to do, to live in a beautiful part of the world, and simply how wonderful it is to be alive, even first thing in the morning. So here's to milk and honey and life itself.